Welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
Let's go. What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome back, The second day of the week, arguably the best day of the week. Nobody says that, actually. No one has ever said that. We get a fun one today. We've got some weird trade stuff. We're going to talk Dame. We're going to talk Zion, the Suns in general, CP3, and then just like whatever chaos we get into, whatever chaos is created by the chat or by my broken brain. Bandy's backing at it. He was out here for a while. Took some time off. Now he's going to make some eye contact with the camera. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Well, who do we got in the chat this morning? Sneeps is here. Snoopaloop, let us know. Happy National Vanilla Milkshake Day. I'm going to go out on a limb here with the take, and I don't think we need specific days for specific flavors of milkshakes. I think we just do all the milkshakes at once. Shout out Bill Murray. We got Jump Shoot here, Bowdevine's here, Boston Base, Will in the chat, Jared here, Thunder Up, Jump Shooty here, Federico. Good to see everybody. Like the stream, subscribe to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. If it's your second or more, I'm not going to extend the same niceties because you're already here. You're already a part of it. We've got also, what else we got going on this week? Just a reminder, tomorrow we've got no NBA bit tomorrow morning, as I said earlier. No morning show. We're going to do Wacky Wednesdays or whatever alliteration bullshit you want to throw out there, but we're not going to do a morning show on Wednesdays so I can recover my voice after doing my evening in real life thing on Tuesdays. But the 89 Cavs return tomorrow night at 7. We've got JBB coming on at 9 to do some underdog football. And then Thursday, we'll have the NBA bit. And then we will be live at the draft with our man, Justin Catchins. And then Friday, we'll have the NBA bit as well. So that's exciting. Who else we got here? We got Skeets is here. Matty Harrison's here. We got everybody. Rugs Wednesdays. How dare you? How dare you? One other housekeeping thing that I wanted to throw out there. So we're in the midst of designing some new merchies. And I was trying to go back through all like the old days, the olden times, to think about some of our, our signature catchphrases. There's no cool way to say that. But I was trying to think of some other stuff. Like, of course, we've got our mental health checks. We've got our play the drop, I guess would be fun. I'm better than you, right? It's a lot of our video-based stuff. But if you have any like, oh, dude, that's a callback. We need that callback. Let me know. I believe we're going to see some Top Shot Tony merch, which I'm very excited about. So if you get any takes, any ideas, thoughts, suggestions, whatever, hit me with them. Boston Bay said, you want to avoid the Twitter dragging if you release bad merch. I mean, all I know is we're going to be charging upwards of $200 for a coffee mug. I think that's the best way to go about it. $500 for a quarter zip. And the good news is if you're part of the oversubscribed community, that's only helping you. You know what I'm saying? Help me, help you. Snoop Loop says, will your hoodies be $100? If so, can we get a voucher? Yeah, I love that. I love that. Oh, it's good. It's good. All right. Speaking of which, we're going to start with the mental health check. Because if you can't tell, we are battling the elements here as post-sinus infection. And what my body does is my chest tightens up. Good old asthmatic. None of this is financial advice. Do what you love what you do. Something like that, right? Boston Base is saying maybe feel out the community. No, the good news is we pay someone for design stuff. So I'm not worried about it. Okay. So we're not just going to do Black Hoodie. We got some fun stuff coming at you. All right. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to dive in? First and foremost, Damian Lillard. No longer talking about you anymore, sir. I think we've now entered this part of the chat. Dame has now, like, for a while, it was our fault, right? For a while, it was us. Dame, never a time did he come out and say, I think it's time for me to play elsewhere, right? Never happened. It was loyalty. It was Rip City, Portland forever. This is where I want to be. And then all of a sudden, he started putting little breadcrumbs out there, right? Putting little breadcrumbs. He's like, yeah, I want to stay in Portland unless we suck. If we're going to suck and not try to win, then I'd go somewhere else. But I'm in Portland forever. Then he goes out there and he's like, here's some teams I would play for if I was not playing in Portland, right? So then every sports media person popped a couple of blue chews and was like, let's get to work. And then Dave comes out and he's like, yeah, I never said I wanted to be traded. I'm not going anywhere. Dame, no longer. No, it's almost to the point where he's like, I don't want you to do the dishes. I want you to want to do the dishes. That's like the type of energy he's now bringing. I'm out on it. I don't want to do it anymore. That's not fun. That is not fun, Dame. You can't do that, all right? You can't just get us. First, you blame us. Like, I never said that. I never said I want to be here forever. Then you do start sprinkling it. And then all of a sudden, no, we're not going anywhere. It's brutal. This cycle also includes a Chris Haynes league. You know what? Every cycle includes a Chris Haynes league. I was going to make like a menstruation, like a period cycle. I don't think the joke works though. So we're going to leave it out. But yeah, man, I'm tired. I'm tired of that. It's boring. Especially like we're a couple days away from the draft. And if you're like Portland management, do you think he's in cahoots with what's his name? Joe? Is it Joe something? Joe? I feel like every front office member's named Joe. Are they in cahoots where he's just like, hey, let's just drum up some Portland conversation. Let's talk Portland. Let's get the media talking about Portland. And then he's just like, but don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. That is what it feels like. So now I guess Dame's not going anywhere. So there you go. Boston Base doing his best to get us to talk about NBA Top Shot. The only block I'm talking about is this one right here. No, we're not doing it. Anyway, so it seems like the Dame stuff is dead. I still wouldn't be surprised if something happens because, man, I just think they are in a no-win situation. I don't see any sort of move that they could make. That all of a sudden makes Portland good, right? Like, who's even available? And we're going to talk about Zion in a second, but I mean, unless Zion does Zion go to Portland with Dame time? Get him closer to Nike? Get him where those workouts are happening? I don't know. I don't really know what the move is there for Portland. Outside of moving Dame and getting as many assets as you can and then trying to build around them, right? So they have the third pick. Right, and there's so many different deals being shopped around. It's like the third pick, Anthony Simons, and Yusuf Nurkic's contract. And then people are like, oh, well, no, forget Anthony Simons. Give a Shaedon Sharpe. They're like, we're never moving Shaedon Sharpe. I don't know. Ingram for Simons in 3. I think that would be fun. I do think Portland has to do something like they have to. What's that? They got to shit, as my dad would say. You got to shit or get off the pot. My dad has never said that, by the way, and he doesn't sound like that. But I wanted to say a dad. But they have to. They have to make one to say. They have to pick a lane. They got to Robert Frost that shit and choose the path less traveled. See, that's the multitudes that you can get in here. You got Robert Frost and you got Blue Chew references. Yeah. So anyways, the Dame stuff's going to be fascinating. The Portland stuff's going to be fascinating. I honestly, this is how I feel about almost all of the trade talks right now. I want you to wait until Thursday. I want to be in the building. In the words of Alexander Hamilton, I want to be in the room where it happens. Gross. Let's do a mental health check. We're 9 minutes in, 10 minutes in. We're already doing mental health checks. We're off the rails early. I'm sorry this didn't come with a hand job. I just don't think it's included in the airdrops. That's stylistically, that's tough to include that in an airdrop. All right, we're going to talk Zion a little bit too. And listen, I respect all the people that have like major platforms where they can't talk about the off court issues with Zion, right? They're too respectful. They've got too respectful of an audience. I, however, need the clickbait. So we'll talk about it here. I think I am now at the point where right. I was here for all of the Mariah tweets. They were absolute chaos. There has been enough of them. It has been drug out long enough. I am now Team Zion. Now I'm done with it. I don't want to hear about it anymore. We've extended it too far, right? It's not like we haven't gotten any information that he's a bad dude, that he did anything problematic or anything weird. As far as I know, allegedly, right? Anything problematic, anything like that. It's too much now. Too much now. And if you had more information, you should have just all put that in one big thread. Organize your tweets. Be like any sort of NFT fantasy football influencer where you're like, where it's just like a picture. It's a picture and it's like, I'm about to tell you the craziest story you never knew you needed to know today. And then at the end, it'll be like, if you like looking at photos and potential videos, make sure you go back to the top, retweet that tweet, right? That's what we have to see. Were you Team Mariah before? No, I was Team Chaos, though. I was Team Chaos. I enjoyed what was happening. Now it feels like we're just it feels like a reality TV show. It feels like somebody from the real world being like, I'm actually a musician now. And we're like, no, you're not. You were Tony from the real world. Anyway, so I'm done. I'm done with it. I hope that conversation's done in a while. But I was here for the chaos at the beginning, and now I feel like we've gone too far, right? We've gone too far with it. But it does sound like Zion is going to be on another team by the end of the week. There's been multiple reports now, multiple like Windhorse memes. We're like, why would they do that? And it does seem like he's going to be on a different team by the end of the week. And I feel like Zion, unlike Dame, there are way more potential suitors, right? There's a lot of different scenarios that make sense. Houston, it sounds like is no longer Harden is no longer in the cards for Houston, right? And they're Houston, they have money, they have things to throw around. Maybe he goes down there. I saw Bill Simmons threw out an idea with like Jaylen Brown for Zion and something, or maybe it was Russillo. That's not happening at all. But Zion to Portland has been talked about, right? Because the Pelicans want to move up in the draft. And Portland has the third pick. And so there's like definitely different pieces that they can move. Also, Charlotte, because Charlotte loves to make bad decisions, right? We've seen some of their drafting. They're not great at that. So let's get rid of the draft pick and just take on Zion. All of a sudden, you have Zion and LaMelo playing together. I think that would be a lot of fun. So there's a lot of different options here. Pels are caving into Mariah's demands. No, I don't think so. The Pelicans are in trouble, I think, financially a little bit, right? They're gonna have to make some moves eventually. They have so much draft capital. They've got guys they have to pay. I think Zion is on the move. It sounds like they're done with it. They moved off of somebody. Is it something? Tamika Washington. I'm sorry. I'm blanking on the name from the former front office person with the Pelicans who had a solid relationship with Zion. The Zion Whisperer is no longer with the team. It just seems like that's the direction they're heading right now. And I don't know. I feel like that's going to be a big shakeup. So Portland would be fun. I mean, if Zion, and that's the other thing. Like, I know we like to laugh at Zion or cry, right? Where it's just like the dude can't stay on the court. He had this like weird injury against Philly in January where it was a little hammy or a groin. I forget what part of his leg hurt. And then we just never saw him again. And then they were like, oh, he's ready to play in the playoffs. But like, no, he wasn't. He struggles with his weight. We've got all this other off-court stuff. But for that first 2 months of the year, man, that dude was a monster. The Pelicans were like number 2, number 1 in the West for like, again, this is early in the season until like they were without Zion for a bunch, without Ingram for a bunch. I don't know. I think Zion still has just such a super high ceiling. Obviously, there's risk there. Obviously, it's like a big contract. But We the People says you heard it here first. Brunson, Hart, RJ, Randall, Zion. So who are they giving up in that deal, though, We the People? Like, who are they? They're not Mitchell Robinson. That's the trade asset they're moving off of. They got to trade something. And it's not like the Knicks have enough picks. Man, we got to do another video. We got to do another video. We can't go down this road. We can't talk about like how you need to have had sex in order to have responsibility. I just think it changes you, you know? I think it changes you. So I don't know. I don't know what they do, but it does sound like Zion's on the move. It sounds like they're going to keep Ingram, move off of Zion. Mike Sikarian says Boston base. I know. We're struggling here. I actually feel pretty good. Grimes, Mitch Robinson, and another player and pick for Zion. No, his values. If Portland's offering up, if Portland's package is like the number 3 pick, Anthony Simons and something, you're absolutely not. You're not. He's not going to New York. I know he said he wanted to play in New York, but that deal sucks. If the Pelicans do that, it's like they studied the Washington Wizards playbook and they were like, how can I get as much trash back? You know? Bradley Beal, Zion Williamson, handshake. Both don't play a lot of basketball. Zion for PJ Washington in picks? No, it's not going to be PJ. It would be, well, I guess maybe it would be PJ if it's the number 2 pick. Would you trade number 4 in Green for Zion? I think I would. This is the problem, though. I'm too high on Zion. I like him too much, and I don't like Jalen Green a bunch. Yeah. We the people. I think we the people hit the pipe early this morning with that Knicks deal. I appreciate the effort. I just love the Pelicans being like, oh man, if we could just get our hand on Quentin Grimes and Mitchell Robinson, that would just seal the deal. Anyway, so that I hope this happens while I'm in Brooklyn at Barclays Center for the draft. That would be really fun to see that trade happen live. Which, by the way, very excited to be at the draft. We've got we're going to be doing like a fun post-draft giveaway video thing that's going to be pretty cool. We've got a man on the street style video that I think you guys are going to enjoy. We'll also have Jay Catch in there. So we're going to have some fun stuff. So stay tuned for all of that. Ish. The Charles Barclays Center. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. All right, let's go over. I want to talk a little bit more about Chris Paul yesterday. Chris Paul stuff. So as we were live, so was Good Morning America, which honestly, huge mistake by them. I can't believe they program at the same time as Team Holt does on YouTube's. But so CP3, as he was talking about his new book, 61, talked about how he found out he got traded. And it was great. His 14-year-old is how he learned he was traded, which is crazy. Absolutely bonkers that's how he found out, which makes me think like, what is going on with this Phoenix organization, right? Chris Paul comes in. Well, however you feel about CP3, however you feel about the Phoenix Suns, the Suns had this little magical bubble run where they didn't lose a game, but still didn't make the play-in game. CP3 shows up. They go to the finals. I know they've had a couple of playoff flameouts, but that's nuts to me that's how you treat him like that. Like, yes, it was the writing was on the wall that he's probably going to bounce, but I just still can't believe that is how he found out from his 14-year-old, which, you know, we've already talked about how his kid's getting bullied at school because he hasn't won a ring. But one thing that I thought was pretty fascinating was he also like threw a little knife in there, a little CP3 dirty shot at Isaiah Thomas, who mentioned that Isaiah Thomas was someone that was involved with the Suns organization after Matt Ishbia, the new owner of the Phoenix Suns, publicly said during the playoff run that Isaiah Thomas was not a part of the front office. I got a question. Why is Isaiah Thomas still involved in anything basketball? Yes, one of the best point guards, if not the best point guard of all time, if you don't count Magic as a point guard, which you do. So let's say the second best point guard of all time. No taking that away. He was incredible in those Detroit runs, the bad boys, right? Since then, what has he done good? Right? I mean, even let's talk about before he was involved with different front offices or coaching. He is one of the worst media members, I think, like one of the worst on-air talents. It's just nothing engaging about it whatsoever. And then I saw in Tom Ziller's Good Morning Basketball, the Knicks paid out the largest sexual harassment civil award in U.S. history after a jury determined Isaiah, then running basketball operations for the team, harassed a female executive. Even if you took that out, can anybody tell me the good basketball front office decisions this man has made? Why? Why is Isaiah Thomas involved in anything? Also, rewind again. The largest civil award in history. What are we doing? Why? Why? I just love the idea. Matt Ishbia comes in. He's like, new owner. It's let me cook. He goes out, gets KD. Yeah, they sacrificed their future. They got one of the best scoring forwards of all time. Still got some time left in his prime. And then he's like, what's the one other move that we could do to take us to the next level? Let's look at recent Phoenix Suns history. What was our last owner? Robert Sarver. What were some of the issues that he brought to the organization, basketball, and the general world? Oh, sexual, racial, all this different type of harassment. How do we fix that? Let's bring in another version of that. What? It's incredible. It's incredible. And it would be one thing, right? If you wanted to be like, well, you know what? We know he was a piece of shit earlier in his days. He's learned from his mistakes, and he's also a basketball executive genius. What? Oh, man. Incredible stuff. Weisberg says IT has been as bad as an executive, as good as he was a player. Hall of Fame level bad executive. I mean, he's like literally one of him and Khan are the first two guys I think of. Shout out Memphis. It's incredible. Anyway, CP3, he won't be playing on the Wizards, right? They're still trying to figure out where he's going next. It sounds like he's going to be in Los Angeles. So whether it's going to be for the Clippers, in Balma with Kawhi and PG, or he's going to be on the Lakers, who knows? That's where it sounds like he's going. I think both of those situations are boring. I'd rather see Chris Paul in like 5 other locations, but whatever. I don't think it matters that much. But that appears to be where CP3 is on his way. There was one other Phoenix thing that I was excited to talk about. There was, oh God, I'm blanking on who it was. The NBA Central Twitter account tweeted it out. But Monty Williams, it was reported that Monty Williams did not like coaching DeAndre Ayton or Jay Crowder. One more time. It was reported that Monty Williams did not like coaching DeAndre Ayton or Jay Crowder. What would have given that away? Was it the fact that Jay Crowder was like, nah, I'm going to sit? Or was it that he didn't talk to DeAndre Ayton for an entire offseason? Like, no shit. That was one of my favorite reports ever. I loved it. Oh, no way. They didn't like each other. They didn't get along. Wow, they hit it really well because based on everything I saw, Monty Williams seemed to really be able to grasp and connect with DeAndre Ayton and Jay Crowder. Oh, man. Phil says, back to CP3, if no trade and he's bought out, Lakers for a vet min. I mean, I think that's what everybody's hoping. I wonder, though, I mean, he'd have to decide to take the vet min, right? Because I think Chris Paul could probably garnish a little bit more. Garnish, is that the right word? Receive a little bit more money than that. So I don't know. It'll be fascinating. But maybe if he just wants to play in LA, if he just wants to play with them, who knows? Whew. All right, another mental health check because your boy is coughing a bunch. But I'm just not going to do it, guys. And it feels good to not cave to the chat because I am the boss. Like I said earlier, I'm in charge today. I am in charge. You can't tell me what to do. Oh, this is a great point. Yeah, somebody let Monty Williams. He now has Marvin Bagley and James Wiseman in his rotation. Hold my beer. You don't like Ayton and Crowder? Let me introduce you to Wise God and Bags. Incredible. All the mental health checks already. We need new drops, says Paul. I know, we're just struggling. We got a little bit of a cough. We need a little bit of a cough. Good to see Boston Base trying his hardest at comedy this morning. Good to see you there. Hoop Junkie says, Lakers can trade for CP3 by picking up Beasley's team option and fully guaranteeing Mo Bambas. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of Beasley Bamba as the keys to the deals. Yikes. Beef stew. I like beef stew. There was rumors that the Celtics were poking around trying to get Mr. Stewart, but it doesn't sound like it's happening. One last piece of news got on the old thumbnail today. Draymond officially opted out of his contract, which means, he's open. He's a free agent. Draymond, the free agent. Let's hashtag new media, hashtag free agency. Though simultaneously, the Warriors announced Mike Dunleavy Jr. is the new general manager. So welcome, Mike Dunleavy, to general managerdom. Now we need you to figure out the Draymond contract. And I know it sounds like both sides. Sounds like the Warriors want Draymond to come back. It sounds like Draymond wants to come back to the Warriors. But the thing about it is that there's some teams with a lot of dollars. And I wonder if someone comes over the top and applies some pressure to Golden State. Just puts a deal on the table for Draymond, and now Draymond has to decide, do I want to go back to Golden State, or do I want to get my last probably big deal as a professional athlete? Drunkle said, Drunkle, you might be Drunkle. He will get re-signed for 4 years, $200 million. Draymond is not getting $50 million a year. That's insane. That's insane. I forget what the number it was he turned down. Did he have 37? I forget what the number was. But he's not a max guy, right? At this point in his career, that's such a dangerous contract if he's a max guy. He can't be. He can't be. And especially with the new collective bargaining agreement. I don't know. It's gonna be tough. Mike Dunleavy being a GM is another reason to make us feel old. I read a piece in The Athletic this morning by Marcus Thompson. I forgot Mike Dunleavy Jr. was a 3rd overall pick by the Warriors. I mean, I knew he played on the Warriors. I didn't realize he was that high, though. Weisberg says Dre opted out 10 days early, which is a bit of tell that the Warriors made an offer he was unhappy with. Option, okay, 27.5. Couldn't remember if it was 27.5 or 37.5. I knew it was 7.5. I still think Draymond comes back to Golden State, but dude, what if San Antonio? Because San Antonio has the most amount of cap space, right? San Antonio has so much cap space that during the trade deadline, they were like, well, they could take Ben Simmons' monstrosity of a contract. But what if San Antonio comes in and is like, hey, Dre, listen, I know you're used to playing in the Bay Area. I know you're used to competing for titles, but what if you just mentored Wemby? Play alongside Wemby, right? Play alongside Wemby. We can pay you more than Golden State. How do you feel? I don't know. 3 years, 70 is what he's going to get. Yeah, I kind of like that. Isn't Draymond basically washed now, says Paul? No, I don't think Draymond is washed. I just don't think he's a max. I don't think he's a big. Draymond is still very important to what Golden State does. That's why I think Golden State has to do it. They have to do it. But Draymond it all depends on where he's at mentally, too. If he's like, dude, I deserve to get a paycheck, a big one, then I don't know if he stays in Golden State because I don't think they can do it. And I wonder if, as they're figuring out this deal, I wonder if they go out of their way to move Jordan Poole. Do we see Jordan Poole get moved before the trade deadline? I mean, before the trade deadline. Do we see him get moved before the draft or right after the draft? I don't know. Hoop Junkie says, Mike, would you trade Jaylen Brown for Zion? I want everybody to close your mother ears. Yes, I would. I would do it. Now, there has to be more in the deal, right? I don't think it's like the one that they put out there yesterday, Jaylen Brown for Herb Jones and Zion. I think I would do that. I know. Listen, I know Zion is a problem, both when he's healthy and also when he's not healthy. I kind of like it. I just like the upside. I'm obsessed with the upside. Give me the ceiling. I want it. Tatum, Zion, Derek White, your big three. I would do it, man. I really would do it. But back to Draymond, I do think he stays with the Warriors. But I do think I like Houston, San Antonio. Listen, hey, Draymond, how do you feel about state tax? Oh, you don't like it? Welcome to Texas, right? Houston and San Antonio could drop bags on them. And especially, I know I mentioned the Harden thing already, but Houston really was hoping they were going to get James Harden to come back because they can't afford to be bad again because they don't have their first round pick this season. I think it's either Brooklyn or OKC. I can't remember who has it. So they want to bring in vets. They want to be a little bit more competitive this year. If they don't have Harden, who are they going to go sign? Tough to turn that down, but love JB. I mean, I love JB too. I mean, I love Jaylen Brown. So, like, obviously, I don't think they have to do this. I'm not as out on Jaylen Brown as the rest of every other 50-plus-year-old white dude in Massachusetts. I was back in Massachusetts, and I was back in Massachusetts 2 weekends in a row for a funeral and for a wedding. The circle of life. But I was back there for a funeral and a wedding, and a bunch of old family members. On Kelsey, not old, excuse me, a bunch of older men on Kelsey's side of the family who know that I do this would pull me aside, know that I talk about basketball, pull me aside and be like, hey, what do you think about the Celtics? What do you think about the fucking Celtics? And before I got a word out there, like, Jaylen Brown is a loser. You got to trade JB. Can't win with Jaylen Brown. I also think Tatum's fucking soft, but we keep Tatum. We got to move Jaylen Brown. And Marcus Smart, more like Marcus Dumb, dude. What is wrong with the Celtics? They are fucking soft in the head. They are soft in the heart. And they are soft in the dick. Every single one of them had the same take. It was incredible. It was incredible. Joker Rock says, no, don't let Draymond anywhere near Wemby. Don't need him running off before he gets started. I don't know. I can't listen. I know Draymond had that whole thing where he punched his teammate, and we don't like that. I do think Draymond with Wemby would be fun. I think that's like a good piece next to him too, right? I do. I think it's a good piece. Regulator says it took the Nuggets and Bucks a few failures to break through. Celtics need to run it back. They'll break through next season. So Regulator, I agree with this. Except it's been 8 years. The Oat Show, they've been doing this for a while now. So I'm still team run it back. Run it back. Run it back. Not the pack drops. But I'm still team run it back. But if there's something like that, the Zion thing is just sexy. You know? And the people are uglier in Boston, which is good news for Zion, right? Keeps them focused. Bobby says Draymond to Memphis. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see Memphis dropping a bag for Draymond. I don't know what Memphis does. Memphis is in a fascinating spot too. They really are. All right, let's take a minute to talk about Las Vegas. For you friends and fans, who is going to Las Vegas for Summer League? Put it in the chat if you're going to know Boston. Base is going to be out there. I know Weisberg is going to be out there. We got a lot of fun people hanging out. If you haven't had a chance to fill it out yet, we're doing a bunch of different events there, and I'm just trying to get a feel for who's going to be there, who's going to be cool, who's going to be vibing. So I'm going to drop a little Google form here in the chat. Here we go. Sorry, I was vamping while I put that together here. I'm going to drop it in there. We're going to change the backdrop so we can look at it together because in the words of High School Musical, we're all in this together. All right, here we go. Bang. So Vegas, listen. Today is the 20th. I'm going to try to do math, and by that, I'm going to look at a calendar. We are 15 to 16 days, depending on when your flight gets in, before we go to Viva Las Vegas. We got so much fun shit going on. Wemby's going to be at Summer League. I'm going to be at Summer League. That's the same level of draw. We're going to Summer League games on Friday. We have a live show on Friday with the 89 Cavs. Justin and Steve are going to be there. Weisberg is going to be there. Shot Tank Crew is going to be there. G Dunn and Dustin are going to be there. We get the live show. We got a Team Hold happy hour, which rumor has it might be a little open bar for a little while. Chill, though. Be chill about it. We're going to be going to the NBA convention. The NBA con, where we'll all be underwhelmed together as like a group bonding experience. Some of you freaks are going to UFC 290. We got a lot of shit going down. So I hope everyone's going to be there. And if you're on the fence about it, I want you to get excited and get your ass out there, okay? Because there's not that many opportunities in the world where a bunch of dudes can come together and just sweat. That's not in a sauna, because that's what we're going to be doing, because it's going to be hot as balls in Vegas at that time of year. But I'm very excited about it, so I hope you guys are coming. Patrick says over-under on Team Hold getting arrested. Here's the thing, Patrick. I understand where your head's at with this take. However, you have to remember that the average age of Team Hold is like 40. And I just think those we're the over under on bedtime, I think, is a better question to ask, right? It's probably 11, and that feels late for everybody. So there you go. There you go. I don't think anybody's getting rested. But yeah, you need to get out there. You need to get out there. Get out to Summer League. Hoop Junkies on the fence. Hoop Junkie, get your ass out there, baby. It's going to be a good time. So I'm really excited. It's like my favorite thing that we do every year. Third year in a row going out there. Feels good. It feels good. Who is the youngest member of Team Hold? It's probably you, Sneeps. It's probably you, Sneeperoonies. It's probably you. And then J7 feels young. And then Jed, maybe third place. Everyone is old as CP3. It's true. It's true. It's true. All right, let me see. Do we have any other drops we can throw down while we get another cough in there? Let's get another cough in there. Let's do. We haven't done this one yet.
Hey man, I noticed that some of my Series 2 moments, I spent a lot of money on them and it's not worth as much. So, Jacob, can you make it worth more? Jacob.
All right, what else you guys got for me? What do you want to talk about? We hit all of the news and notes that I had ready to go today. I don't know. Is there anything going on in your neck of the woods? Wow, Boston base. Boston base says, "Oh, poker bounty on Mike. Lego for winner." Holy shit. All right, we can do something like that. What was in your hustle and show pack? Regulator said. I had like a Ben Simmons. I think I had a Kai Jones in one. I think I had Darren Fox. I almost had one of everything. But I'm just kind of using those as giveaways. John Dubb says looking extra handsome today. You know what? Let's all do a clap for John Dubb. John Dubb got 2 dubs this year. One was calling that Malcolm Brogdon would get hurt when it mattered the most. As a Pacers fan, he was well aware of that. But John Dubb also recently married. Congrats on your nuptials, John Dubb. Congrats. One of the OGs got married. John Dubb, are you back from honeymoon? Did you go on a honeymoon? Tell us a little bit about your experience, huh? Congrats to John Dubb. But yeah, what else you guys want to talk about? I don't know. Is there anything else exciting, sexy going on in your lives that you need discussed before we get out of here today? This is going to be fun. Yeah, Dubb, look at this. Look at all the love in the chat. All the love in the chat from the bros. All that love. Let me see. Is there anything else I got over here? Did anybody else fill out the Google form? No, nobody else filled out the Google form. How dare you? Looking forward to in real life draft events in North Carolina. That is one of the best parts about having a shit team. And no disrespect, but as the draft comes, that becomes like a big event, right? That becomes like a big event where everything's married to it. I hope the Hornets don't trade out of their pick. Like I know the Zion thing is tasty and tantalizing or whatever. I really hope they just take Scoot Henderson. Just have Scoot and LaMelo have fun. Let them run around, see what happens, Just take the upside. I guess Zion probably has more upside than Scoot, but I don't know. I would just take Scoot. Take Scoot, let it rock. What regulator? How disappointed would you be, or Hornets fans in general, the CLT? How disappointed would you be if it's Brandon Miller? To me, like Brandon Miller seems like a guy you can plug in right now. He's pretty solid. And also, I'm not a draft expert. I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. But I just feel like I would rather just take Scoot. That's just higher upside in my opinion. Ooh, Weisberg said, "Will note there's a decent amount of media that might be at the Team Hold Live show. I know Skeets will likely be there. You know what though? I count Skeets as a friend. How about that? What's how you do a heart? Heart? Is that a heart? It looked like hills. I don't know. You'd be very disappointed. Yeah. Drunkle says in Terry small backcourt. I think you move off Terry. Let Scary Terry go cook somewhere else. Let Scary Terry go help. Scary Terry as a guard coming off the bench, like a scoring guard on a good team, I think would be good. Miller would be third string to start. Yeah, I like Miller. I do like Miller. If you're picking at the top of the draft, you got to be going for shoot for the stars. No, shoot for the moon. Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you land amongst the stars. If I'm the Charlotte Hornets drafting at number 2, I'm shooting for the moon with Scoot Henderson. Because even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. There you go. Brandon Miller really great at giving it. Oh no, boo, Weisberg, no shooting jokes. Also, you Ron Burgundied me where I didn't proofread it. Oh man, Paul, wait, Paul, are you going? Did you get the approval, or is this you saying your excuse why you can't go? I think you need to make some Mel Kiper style shorts talking about draft prospects. Yeah, I just don't know what I'm talking about. I think that's his problem. Oh, you know, a fun non-related basketball thing, or I guess it's like tangentially related. I got Tyler Parker. Do you guys remember Tyler Parker from The Ringer? He came on the opening day show that we did. He had his new book came out, which was funny because it was announced that it was coming out like the day before he came on that show. So like in mid-October, but it finally arrived in my door yesterday. And now I'm blank, a little blood and dancing. I think it's called. Let me, oh God, I fucking should have wrote that down before. It's either a little blood and dancing, a novel by Tyler Parker. And I started reading that today yesterday. It's great. It's a great read. It's a lot of fun. I've LOL'd a handful of times, and I'm only like 50 pages in. So highly recommend checking that out. It's a fun one. It is a fun one. Not yet. She suggested the whole fam. I'm trying to. Oh, right, Paul. This is what you do, though. Well, the whole fam's tough because the kiddos and like, you know what, Paul? What if we use part of the oversubscribed budget to get you a babysitter while you're there for a day? Would that help? Would that help, Paul? We need Paul out there. Miller be like Kid Gilchrist. Yeah, him. No, you don't know. Miller's better than Michael Kidd Gilchrist. How dare you? MKG. MKG made my jump shot feel wet. That was always tough to watch. Had a little Saban Lee in him. Shout out to Deep Threat. That's one of my favorite memories of Summer League was being out there watching Saban Lee take these broken ass jumpers. Hey, Saban Lee's in the league. Good for him. Good for him. So the jumper looked whack. It just might. There you go, Paul. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's get Paul out to Vegas, baby. Let's get him out to Vegas. Any Vegas babysitters trust? There has to be. There's going to be a good market for him. I bet Zion knows a couple of them. Regulator said Miller only weighs 5 more pounds than Scoot. Okay, maybe you should be doing the Mel Kiper style videos, Paul. Regulator, maybe you should be doing those. I don't think I have anything else for you guys today. We're going 42 minutes strong. I feel like that our off-season shows will probably be around 45 minutes unless we get anything wacky dacky. So just a reminder, tomorrow. No 9 a.m. show. We might have something in midday, but the 89 Cavs, Steve and Justin, will be back at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. 9 o'clock, Mr. John Boy Beats, Johnny Jackson himself. We're going to talk a little foosball, a little football, and then Thursday, the NBA bit is back at 9 a.m. Listen, we are creeping up. We're right around 9,500 subscribers right now. We're at 9,494 subscribers, team. We're working our way to 9,500. The quest for 10K continues. So I appreciate you guys sharing this with your friends and your family. Hold them at gunpoint. Make them subscribe. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that just in case you freaks listen to everything I'm saying. But go ahead and just keep spreading the word. And I appreciate everyone being here this morning. I hope you all have a great day. And we will be back tomorrow evening. I'll see you all later. We out.